Let's jump right in. Today we're exploring an explainer on some truly mind-bending concepts from Giacomo Albano's book, Celestial Patterns, the New Astrology of the Fixed Stars. We're going to look at how the geometric patterns of fixed stars might just be the hidden root causes behind some of history's most extraordinary events. It's a journey into a very specific, deeply historic method of reading the sky.
So we are reporting impartially on stellar astrology. This is a highly technical system that basically claims the heavens are the ultimate teacher, holding the literal blueprints to things like just seem inexplicable here on Earth. Like, have you ever wondered how some people look up at the night sky and see the actual literal mechanics of a miracle? Or maybe the geometric blueprint of a billionaire's rise to power? Well, this system attempts to answer exactly that by analyzing the sky's most ancient patterns.
Now you might be wondering, how is this different from checking your daily horoscope? Well, there's actually a massive difference. Common astrology usually looks at immediate planetary triggers, right? Like a planet moving into a new sign. But stellar astrology, it zooms way, way out. It argues that to find the deep-seated true origins of why things happen, we have to look at the multidimensional geometry formed by fixed stars over thousands of years. It's kind of like looking at the gears driving the entire machine rather than just checking the second hand on a clock.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll unpack the tools of astrological geometry. Second, we'll look at the Parkinson's miracle. Third, the anatomy of a healing. And finally, decoding exceptional destinies. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Tools of Astrological Geometry.
All right, let's open up the toolkit. These advanced coordinates map out incredibly complex long-term relationships that stars form over a massive precessional cycle. Look at the precision here. We have Antitia, which involves finding points perfectly equidistant from the solstice axis, basically celestial mirror images. Then there are equatorial aspects, which are based purely on right ascension along the celestial equator. But the most profound concept here has to be extreme declinations. You see, stars operate on the staggering 41,000-year cycle, reaching absolute minimum and maximum stopping points. And when stars mathematically interact at these extreme limits, they form what are called magical encadrements. Think of these as ancient, incredibly powerful frameworks of potential energy.
So the crucial point here is that parans act as the immediate, situational crosshairs where those ancient stellar frameworks finally interact with planetary movements. Imagine those 41,000-year star frameworks just hovering in the background. A paran is the trigger. It happens when a specific star and a planet hit the cardinal angles of your local sky at the exact same moment. Oh, and when these parans are enhanced by a star's heliacal phase, basically its relationship with the rising sun, their earthly effects are magnified intensely.
Another super fascinating tool is tracking the maximum deviation of circumpolar stars. These are stars like those in the constellation Cepheus that literally never set. The ancients called them imperishable stars because they never dip below the horizon, and they carry immense initiatory power. In this system, when these stars reach their furthest visual point east or west, their maximum deviation, they become incredibly potent. Keep this constellation, Cepheus, in the back of your mind. It represents the archetypal king or pope, and it's going to be a big deal in just a minute.
Now, to solve these astrological mysteries, practitioners look for what they call antidote stars. These are benefic celestial bodies strategically placed to literally heal or cancel out the harm brought by malefic stars. If a difficult star is triggering an illness, the heavens allegedly provide a way out. Astrologers look for stars with a Venus or Jupiter nature, or specific rescue stars like Castor that form precise mathematical alignments to completely neutralize the threat.
Section 2. The Parkinson's Miracle.
Let's look at how this all comes together in real life with Sister Marie Simone Pierre. Her battle with Parkinson's culminated 2 months after the death of Pope John Paul II, leading to a recovery that completely baffled her neurologists. From her official diagnosis in 2001, her condition worsened severely by 2005. Her community was fervently praying for the intercession of the recently deceased Pope, and then, exactly on the night of June 2, 2005, her symptoms vanished. Pope Benedict XVI actually officially recognized this as a miracle. But how does stellar astrology explain it?
Well, this system suggests the root cause of her illness was actually the malefic star Antares, forming a dangerous parallel with her natal Mars. Antares is traditionally considered a harsh, violent star, so at the exact moment she was born, Antares reached its maximum historical declination in a perfect, dangerous parallel with Mars. This basically laid a dormant, invisible foundation for her future illness.
Fast forward to 2001, the year she was diagnosed. This natal vulnerability was triggered when Antares aligned perfectly on an angle with Mars in her solar return. The dormant seed was officially activated. That exact year, Mars and Antares locked into a powerful position right at the Imum Coeli, the very bottom of the sky, which represents the deep roots of a person's life. This was the localized trigger that pulled the deep precessional geometry of Antares down from the sky and into her physical body.
Section 3. Anatomy of a Healing. Sister Marie said, "I jumped out of bed, my body was no longer in pain, there was no stiffness, and I no longer felt the same inside." This first-hand account from June 3rd beautifully captures the human reality behind all these complex celestial mechanics we're talking about. She was completely cured. Her doctors were absolutely shocked. From the perspective of this framework, this profound human experience was the direct result of a highly specific, perfectly timed alignment of those antidote stars we mentioned, completely overpowering the malefic ones.
Just look at this event chart and sky view from the night of the healing. Antares, the bringer of the illness, is rising in the east. But if you look straight up, Jupiter, which is the traditional planetary significator of the Pope, is at the absolute highest point in the sky. This creates a powerful parent. It's a cosmic standoff, where the healing forces of Jupiter, backed by protective stars, literally look down upon and neutralize the illness.
It's essentially a step-by-step sequence of celestial antidotes. On this specific night, Venus hit 0 degrees Pisces, its absolute highest state of exaltation. Jupiter stepped in as the primary healer. Then, the star Castor, which has been known for centuries as a rescuer, formed a mathematical antidote to Antares. And finally, remember Cepheus? The star Array, which sits right in that constellation of the King and Pope, reached its maximum deviation, perfectly sealing the energetic connection to John Paul II.
Furthermore, the full moon just prior to her healing fell in perfect opposition to Pope John Paul II's natal moon. This is called a syzygy chart, which is just a fancy term for the alignment of 3 celestial bodies. This exact synastry between the full moon and the deceased Pope's birth chart acted as the final cosmic bridge required for the intercession to take place, basically locking the 2 individuals together in time and space.
Section 4. Decoding Exceptional Destinies. Now, beyond miraculous healings, this system also claims to map the root causes of unparalleled worldly success. Take Elon Musk, for example. The author argues that Musk's unprecedented rise cannot be explained by simple astrology. Instead, it's rooted in an 8-pointed star and a Star of David geometric pattern forming specifically over the local horizon of Pretoria, his birthplace. His stellar secret isn't just about where the planets were, it's about the extreme declinations of incredibly bright stars forming massive, multidimensional sacred geometry. And crucially, this geometry only aligned this way in the local space of Pretoria. The specific geography created the conditions to give birth to a person who would be a direct manifestation of these powerful stellar patterns. Kind of makes you wonder about the unique geographic coordinates of your own hometown, doesn't it?
It leaves us with an absolutely fascinating proposition. Are the events of our lives simply the mechanics of ancient starlight finally clicking into place? Whether we are looking at the miraculous curing of a disease or the ascent of a global magnate, this explainer suggests we are intrinsically tied to the grand 41,000-year cycles of the stars above us. It for sure makes you want to look at the night sky a little differently. Thanks for exploring this with us. Keep looking up and keep asking questions.